Welcome to the Sovereign Teacher. I teach spiritual integration and help you remember your sovereignty through family constellations, embodiment, and tarot, and A Course in Miracles. And this video is, as promised, coming home to yourself and keeping your house clean. So you are your home for your spirit. And you want to treat that home sacred and really honor it. So here are some practices that you can use to do that. And they fall along the lines of grounding the body and creating safety, clearing the mind, awareness and clarity, repatterning the mind, new choices, and possibilities, and integrating the system, recognizing yourself as whole. Okay, so first one is clearing the emotional body. This is a layer that many people skip, and the mind stays noisy because the body is holding unfinished emotion. So some ways you can let go of that emotion in the body is yoga, somatic shaking or intuitive movement, literally shaking out the energy, and there are some Tai Chi practices that do that as well. Breath work, I don't know if you're familiar with Victor Oddo, O-D-D-O, but he has an amazing breath work practice that he does, and I've released a lot through that practice. You can find him on YouTube. Voice release, sighing, humming, toning, doing mantras, even crying intentionally, which actually that breath work, in one of the breathwork sessions that I did with Victor Oddo, I was crying at the end of it and releasing. Cold water exposure, I will never be doing that one, but people do that. And anger release rituals, hitting a pillow, stomping. Anger rituals, anger needs to be released, but never at a person, or it will always come back to you. But you can release it in other physical ways, going to a batting cage, going to, hitting golf balls, just, having like a plastic bat and hitting a dummy with it, or punching a dummy. Those are good ways. So that's how you take all the trash out of your system and clear out all the energy, the old energy. Those are some ways, and maybe you have other ways to contribute. And then number 2, clearing the mind, or no, this is actually creating safety in the house. This isn't actually corresponding with the first 4 that I told you. But this is nervous system regulation, creating safety in the house. So when you have trauma, you have a lot of times, if you haven't released that trauma in some way, your nervous system is dysregulated. And even in relationships, like in my past relationship, my nervous system was dysregulated the whole time, but I didn't know that because I was used to it. And then as I did more healing work, I recognized it, and it felt so bad. So here are some ways you can regulate your nervous system. First, you might have to clear people out of your life that dysregulate you. Then you can do slow, intentional walking. You can put your hand on your heart and maybe on your stomach and breathe. And you can look around the room. This is what I've heard a lot of people do, and just name things. It grounds you and makes you aware of your environment and keeps you in the present moment. Co-regulation, making safe eye contact with people that you feel safe with, or even animals, and petting your animals. And then yoga. Yoga is a really good way also, slowing down the body and holding postures. So that is regulating your nervous system and creating safety in your house, which is your body. And then shadow and unconscious work, which I love to do with tarot and family constellations. It's like looking at things that we may not have been aware of. And you can use that to do internal family systems work or talking to parts of yourself. What does this part need from me right now? What is this part afraid of? Where does this show up in my life? What is this protecting? And what am I willing to change? Other tools are dream work, and one method I used in dream work is this is from Gestalt therapy. It's whatever you remember from your dream, you speak it in the present moment and in the first person. So you're every part of your dream. So let's say you had a dream about a red balloon, and the balloon. So you would speak this. I am a red balloon and I am floating up into the sky. I am aware of, and whatever it is, but you become every part of your dream and you can have the parts talk to themselves. I am standing on the ground looking at the red balloon floating up to the sky, watching its tail disappear into the sky. And then the interaction between you and the balloon. As I am looking at it, I am aware that I am sad, or whatever it is. I'm just giving you examples. And then writing from different parts of yourself, writing from the protector part of yourself, writing from the inner child, writing from your higher self. And even like in my tarot readings, I like to do sometimes the different astrological signs and what they're trying to tell us, based on what the astrology of the day is. And so then that's how you stop cleaning up the same mess over and over again, is you learn how to accept and love all parts of yourself. And then rewiring your beliefs. So through that shadow work, you're uncovering beliefs about yourself and letting them go and changing them. And then this one is actually rewiring those beliefs. So affirmations, and I love Louise Hay. She does a lot of affirmations and talks about affirmations. And paired with embodied evidence. So practices like identity statements. I am a woman who is strong in myself. And then micro-proof building, taking small aligned actions daily that reinforce your new identity. So maybe doing some weight exercises and giving yourself that affirmation. I am strong while you lift your weights. Thought interruption and replacement. You can catch yourself in a negative thought and change it and tweak it and make it a little bit more positive. And then keeping your energetic space clear and your mind clear. So you can do meditation. You can take salt baths or showers with intention and say, I release what isn't mine. You can do visual clearing. You can do musical clearing. There's different types of music that clear energy. But you can also the visual clearing is moving light through your body, imagining white light through your body, or even water cleansing your body. Cord cutting visualizations, releasing energetic entanglements, and you can do constellations for that too. Putting somebody that you feel like you're too close to on a piece of paper. You put their name and then you put you on a piece of paper, stand on your piece of paper, and then moving them as far as you feel like you need to move them before you feel comfortable. Nature immersion, just being out in nature and letting a lot can be let go of just being out in nature. And not everything that you feel belongs to you. A lot of this we are carrying from past generations. And then self-connection rituals, making your home a warm, safe, clean space. So actually cleaning your actual home, decorating it with pretty flowers and soft blankets, that's going to be helpful. Mirror work, looking in the mirror and saying, I love you, looking into your eyes and saying, I love you and accept you and approve of you exactly as you are right now. And if you notice anything that you're rejecting, you can just notice that. And what I do is I'm like, I notice it and I'll be like, even with your double chin, I love you and accept you exactly as you are. And I mean it, and I could tell that I mean it. But you want to really mean it. And so sometimes it's noticing if you don't mean it, and just keep practicing it until you do. And you can do you can increase it. So if you're not feeling that way, you can just change it slightly to make it true, but a little bit better. I don't have an example of that right now. And then pleasure practices. One thing that I always do when I'm like want to be comforted or soothed is I'll make a cup of tea. And tea reminds me of my grandmother. It's soothing, and it's a way that I care for myself. Also, I do these sovereign tea parties, which include a lot of these rituals. So if you're interested in that, you can find me at sovereignteacher.com. And then maybe you want to schedule one of these sovereign tea parties for yourself. And sometimes I just have them, I'm running them, and you can participate, or you can schedule your own, get a group of friends together and schedule your own. And then stillness without agenda, just being with yourself, in silence. Sometimes I'll start out with a meditation and then I'll just stay there in that silence and let spirit speak to me, or God. And then gratitude, just practicing gratitude. The more you practice that, the more it becomes natural, and it's just your natural state. And you feel more joy and love and peace, and more of that flows to you. And then aligned action, living in a clean house, making decisions that reflect your truth. So saying no if something doesn't feel right in your body, it doesn't feel right in your house. Keeping people that you can love people, but keep them at a distance that feels more comfortable. Following through even when it's uncomfortable, like I'm doing this video because I said I was going to do this video. Even though this morning I tried to do another video 5 times and just wasn't feeling it. And then I saw this that I wanted to do, and I said I was going to do, and I said, okay, I said I was going to do this video. I feel like I can do this video. Or sometimes it's, following up with exercise, or following up with eating healthy. But just keeping the promises that you make to yourself. And letting your actions match your inner knowing, treating yourself as divine. Being devotional towards yourself and life, devotional practices. Because you don't clean your house just to admire it, you actually are living in it. Okay, so that is how to clean your house.